Good evening to all of you. Uh, Good evening to all of you. I think, like the previous class, so many of you are already present. So uh, I'm very much pleased to see your seriousness. So keep this spirit up. Uh, so today we will continue with the uh, discussion of previous class. Okay. Today we will discuss different. Just a minute. Let me check whether the streaming is being done properly or not. Yeah, I think streaming is done properly. I think all of you can see me. All of you. Uh, Let me check once again. Please respond. All of you are able to see me. Uh, okay. Yeah, streaming is going smoothly over here. I think. So let us continue with the discussion. Okay, fine. So today we will discuss the different methods of crypto system. So the very easy to understand if you go through my notes. See, as you know that mainly this crypto system involves two ends, sender and receiver. What sender does? Sender converts plain text with a particular algorithm and a key to generate cipher text, and the at the receiving end the receiver just does the inversion of this, the opposite of this. It decrypts the encrypted message with a key and gets the plain text. And the challenge of this crypto system is that we have to avoid the hacking by the interceptors. So this is the main challenge of this crypto system. So components of crypto system is the plain text, encryption algorithm, cipher text, decryption algorithm, encryption key, decryption key. Okay. So types of crypto system, I told you in the earlier class a bit of this. There are two kinds of crypto system broadly. One is symmetric key encryption and another is asymmetric key encryption. In symmetric key encryption system, what happens that sender and receiver uses the same key, but in case of asymmetric key encryption, the key differs. Sender and receiver uses different key. They don't agree with the same key. This is mentioned over here, and we have to study the different system of symmetric key encryption, like data encryption standard, international data encryption algorithm, DES, AES, advanced encryption system. These are the different methods of symmetric key encryption we have to know. Here the very beautiful block diagram, and that the secured distribution method. This is the plain text and shared secret key encryption and the shared here is the symmetric key encryption technique where sender and receiver agree with the same key for the encryption and decryption. Challenge of symmetric encryption system, that is key establishment and trust issue. Trust issue involves one thing more over here, that is, I think it's not mentioned over here. See what whenever we are talking about the G, talking about the key, who is the authenticate body to generate this key? So that body must be reliable, and that body must be of government authorized body. It is called Key Distribution Center, KDC, because whenever you will be having an encryption system or crypto system, you will be you want to have the facility of this crypto system, you have to get a key by the authenticate body. So that body generally must be authorized by the government, because we have to rely on the government organization eventually, otherwise no way out. Okay, in here asymmetric key encryption, see, just concentrate this block diagram very beautifully shown, that is here sender and receiver, host 1 and host 2, each of them is having two keys. One is private key, another is public key. So this public key for host 1 and host 2 is at the disposal of repository, means this key distribution center. We are supposed to purchase the key from this repository body. So here, whenever the sender wants to send a message with encryption, sender will use the public key of the receiver. Okay, and sender will encrypt is plain text. So sender will use the public key of the receiver, and it will encrypt the message, and it will pass the message through a secured channel. And in the opposite side, what the receiver will do, receiver will use its private key. It is totally private and secured by the receiver. Receiver will use its private key to decrypt the message, and eventually this receiver will get the plain text. So each and every person agreed to communicate with a secure system using this cryptography crypto system will be having two keys. One is public key and private key. So public key is used by the person, public key of the receiver will be used by the sender, and private key will be used to decrypt the message of the sender. So this is the system with the asymmetric key encryption. So very easy. Once you will go through the several points, you will be able to answer things. So challenge of public key system, you will go through this relation between encryption system, encryption and decryption. For the encryption, the symmetric key is the same. Semi-symmetric key is used. Encryption and decryption for the symmetric key system, and public key cryptography means where the different keys are used, that is public and private, what we have just discussed. Kirchhoff's principle for crypto system, you will just go through the notes. The DES and AES we will discuss later on. So let us go to the next session, next chapter, where we will discuss the different methods of this crypto system. Right, So as we know that so many methods used to apply in the earlier early days. It was very easy to break, but still to know all these conventional, the earlier techniques, we should go through the methods. Here, as you know that, I think you have gone through these techniques in your aptitude test also. Okay, to convert a plain text into a cipher text. See, this A, B, C, D, these are the alphabets. So you can convert A to D. So B, C, difference is 3. Number A plus 3 is B, C, D. Then likewise B plus 3 numerically. So you will get the alphabet, the C, D, E. So B, the difference between this A and the plain text and the cipher text will be same. So for this tutorial plain text, we are getting the cipher text in this way. See, T, you just find out T. T will be replaced by W, because with the same difference we are getting the cipher text. So T will be replaced by W. Here U will be replaced by X. Okay, again T, then O, just go to the O. O will be replaced by R. Here we are getting R. It's a very simple technique used to apply in the earlier Cryptosystem techniques. And next, substitution cipher. Okay, and this is, as you know, that it is not that much secured, so it is not used nowadays. Simple substitution cipher, you can go through this simple substitution cipher. Here this is that if K will be replaced by M, you can see that is the your point P. You just see the corresponding key of P. P will be replaced by M. O will be replaced by this J in this way, the same as this. Now let us proceed to the Playfair cipher. This is very one of the important techniques for your for this subject, for you to get questions in the exam also. Here, see, we are having 26 number of letters actually. What is the system all about in Playfair cipher? 25 alphabets must be involved, must be associated with this system. Only one will be left. Okay, so one letter of the alphabet, usually J, is omitted. Any letter in that because number of letters is 26, so there must be one letter omitted. So now we have with this 25, we will be having a 5 by 5 grid, a table, right? And see this table, how this table, the key table, is generated. I am talking about the Playfair cipher. We used to play the Playfair board in our childhood, no? So the name has been given matching with the same pattern or same arrangement of the alphabets. So what happens here? This is, say, the key table is tutorial. So the system is agreed with a particular word which will generate the key table. How it happens? Here each and every letter, 5 by 5 board is there. So the number of elements, 5 by 5 matrix. Okay, number of rows, number of elements in the rows, and number of columns, number of elements in the columns will be 5. So the system is, we have to put the characters one after another sequentially, skipping the redundant character, skipping the duplicate character. See, tutorial is the key table. So we are putting T here, then U, then again we are getting T, but we will be skipping T because T has occurred earlier. That's why we will be skipping the duplicate letter. So T, U, then T we are omitting, then O has not occurred, so we are putting O side by side, then R is not occurred, so R, here we are putting R, then I, then 5 rooms are filled, then the next character will come to the next position of the matrix, that is here, this position. Okay, so I already occurred, then A we will be putting A over here, and so consecutive rooms will be filled up, right? So the row major method. The row major method will be putting the characters, skipping the duplicate letters or characters. So A, then L will come here, then S. Okay, now the rest of the characters will be placing just in consecutive locations. See, after A we are getting this B, so B has not occurred, then C has not occurred, D has not occurred earlier, then E, F, G, H, I has occurred, so we will skip I, J has H, I, J is, we are skipping here J. I told you that one letter will be missed, otherwise this grid 5 by 5 grid will not be possible to generate. So we are avoiding J. So then K, then L, I, J, K, L. L has occurred, so we are skipping L. Then next character comes M, N, O has occurred, so we are getting P, Q, R, S, T is already present, so R, S, T will be skipped, R, S, T, U will be skipped, then V, W, X, Y, Z. So this way we will be generating a 5 by 5 matrix as a key table. Now the question, how to encrypt a plain text. I think all of you are concentrating. Yeah, so many of you are already online. Okay, so concentrate the discussion. So the plain text, we are going to have an encrypted message of hide money. For example, what we have to split the entire plain text with 2 characters, 2 consecutive characters. So it will come HI, then DE, then MO, then NE. If we are left with a single one, if we are mixed with if this is mixed with its pair, so the next character according to our alphabet series will come. Here see, Y is left, a single, an odd man out, right? So we will be inserting a next character according to our alphabet series. So Z will come, right? So this way we are actually going to encrypt this message. So first, the actual original key, original text, plain text will be converted into this pattern, with this pattern. Then what will happen? See here. So we are getting this table, we got this table. Okay, so we will be following this table as a key table. Then now the task is we have to convert each and every pair of the plain text into cipher text. So first look at HI. So there are 3 rules. If both the letters are in the same column, take the letter below each one going back to top if at the bottom. See H, here we are getting the H, and these are the in the same column here HI. This comes in the same column of the matrix. So we will replace H by I and I and H by Q and I by C. Okay, so the next means the character of the next room on that column will be replaced with this. So H will be replaced by Q and I will be replaced by C. If had it been the last one, then we had it been Z, then we would have used the the element, the character of this room, right? So the last one, if at this is the take the letter below each one going back to the top. If at the bottom, if the character is placed at the bottom, the character from the plain text, if it is at the bottom, then it will be replaced back to the top of it, right? So this way HI will be replaced by this Q and C. Then see, the next is DE, HIDE, height, DE. How to replace? So we have to first see where these pairs are placed in the key table. DE. See, you can see that this rule will be applied if both letters are in the same row. Here it was both the letters are in the same column. Here if these both the letters are in the same row, what we have to do, we have to apply the same. There is D will be replaced by E and E will be replaced by if. So we are getting the encrypted pair of this DE in this way. And hide the last one, then it will come here. This rounding will happen. Okay. Now this HI what MO. Now for this MO, let's say how we get the pattern MO. This rule will be applied if neither of the preceding two rules are true. Means if the characters are placed in the same row or neither these are placed in the same column, so then the third rule will be applied. So here we will form a rectangle, we will form a inner rectangle because of the matrix, no? So definitely and sub rectangle may be formed. See the MO, the next pair is for the MO. Say here, check how we are getting MO, M and O. So we have to form a rectangle with this M and O as a corner elements. Okay, if it is with the two letters and take the letters on the horizontal opposite corner, M and O nor on the same column or same row, hence from the rectangle. So we have to see how the rectangle is getting formed, and from the rectangle we are just replacing the corner the elements. So M will be replaced by N, okay, and O will be replaced by U. So these corner elements will be replaced by its opposite element. Means see, by picking up opposite corner letter on same row, in the same row M will be replaced by N. The opposite corner letter on the same row of this rectangle. So M will be replaced by N, and opposite corner of this O is this U, right? So this M and O will be replaced by N and U. So these three rules are applied toward this Playfair cipher. Okay, so this way we will be generating the cipher text according to the Playfair cipher system. Now comes with this. This is the very easy. You will go through this one. This this Wegener cipher. Okay, and one time pad. This is one of the most important technique for your exam, right? One time pad. What happens here actually, we are having the 26 number of alphabets in our alphabet series. So if we think about the 5 letters, then that each and every letter can be replaced with the 26 number of letters. Let's say A may be replaced by A may be replaced by B, A may be replaced by C. In this way, these 26 letters may be replaced with this A. Now, for example, for B, same way, B will be replaced with 26 number of characters. So, how many combinations of computations we may expect for the 5-letter text, for the 5-letter plain text? 26 multiplied by 26 multiplied by 26. So these are the possible computations we may expect. The 26 to the power 5 these times, this number of times. So this many pattern we can have according to the permutation technique. So these, for this 5 letter we can have this number of times, this sequence for a particular 5-letter text. Are you getting me? If the string length is 5, then we can get this number of sequences, right, with the different computations. So this is one time pad, impossible to break, because if the this 5-letter is a very small one, generally we are having a big number of letters in a plain text. So you just imagine how many number of permutations may occur over there, and that is what is happening. What happens in the system when one key is generated, the next key may be changed. That is a one-time pad. Like you are getting one time key one time, and you are just scratching it out and from the pad, and we are getting the names, because we have huge number of permutations. So as the number of letters increases, the number of permutations will be increased. So each and every time this key keeps on changing. This is the very important. So for the earlier systems of the cryptography is concerned, the transposition cipher. Next come with the transposition cipher. Here we get a transposition. How? See, for example, the plain text is golden. What is done here? This is done actually our plain text. Golden statue is in 11th cave. So matrix of any order, it may be here the 5 by 5 is shown here. Okay, any order means the number of columns may vary. Let's say we are taking the example where the matrix will be having a number of columns 5. Okay, so now we have to keep on writing these plain text GOLDE, then next character N will come here, so consecutive rooms will be filled, right? So here where the golden statue is in 11th cave, CAV. So here we are completing. So these rooms may be vacant. So this way we are getting a cipher text, but while writing this text, we will be avoiding the duplicate characters. Here golden, then stat STAT, you statue. Just wait for a while. Now this is the way we arrange the text horizontally in a table. The number of columns equal to key value. The resulting text is shown below. Okay, fine. No duplicate. The duplicate concept. The concept of duplicate letter is involved here. You just write all the characters, and we will be getting the cipher text. We will be taking the elements in the column measure. Here we are writing using the row measure method, but for getting the cipher text, we will be considering the column measure. Means the resulting text will be this GNUNEA, then OSEENV. This is here GNUNEA OS. So the column measure elements means we will be picking up the elements, maintaining the column measure technique. So this will be our cipher text, resulting cipher text. So we don't have to skip the resultant element in this system. Yes, so this is also very easy. So I think we will, so what I planned that I will discuss these techniques of this cipher crypto system, what was used, what the techniques what are used in the earlier days. And any questions from you people? Kaushik Mitra, so I think it looks like that you are physically present in the class, right? You are chatting with your friends, like you are present in the physical class. Okay, fine. So all of you followed the class. Okay, now in the next class I will discuss you have to understand the DES algorithm in a proper manner. So I think I am planning to discuss DES, or let's see. One more important thing is that I will be discussing the questions of the previous year. I will start discussing. So you also get ready with the material, and I will be providing the more materials the next classes, before the next classes. And as you know that you have to appear in the internal exam, you will get the notice, and the total marks will be of 25, right? You will be having 10 marks carrying 10 number of questions carrying 1 mark, and 5 number of questions carrying 3 marks. So total 25 questions of 25 marks you will be getting, and you have to appear in the online test. So don't get worried, I will give you the material, or what the materials I have supplied you, and you are following my classes. So you will be getting the answers. You will be able to solve the questions very comfortably. Okay, so let us end the session. Any questions from you? And for your this weekly activity report, I will intimate you through the WhatsApp. Okay, and I think you are supposed to fill up your weekly activity report in the Knockout portal for this week. So you have to get ready with the data, right? So I will intimate you through WhatsApp or through Google Classroom. Okay, so let us end the session. Okay, keep fine. Thank you. Good night.